Hey everybody, welcome back. It's another episode of Jake Talks Star Wars. I'm Jake, and today we are talking about Star Wars Visions. Volume 3 got released today. Today is Wednesday, October 29th. It's later in the evening when I'm recording this, because unlike other channels that are more established and everything else, I didn't get early access to this stuff. So I'm watching it today along with the rest of you, and I just wanted to share some of my initial thoughts, some of my initial reactions, because it's good. It's definitely worth checking out. It's definitely worth checking out. Yesterday, I posted a recap of some of Volume 1 of Visions, and Visions Volume 3 has 3 episodes that are continuations of episodes we saw in Volume 1. I'm not going over all of the episodes tonight. In depth. I'm not going to do any spoilers tonight. So no spoilers tonight, nothing in depth tonight. But I do want to give through some initial thoughts. Volume 3 is just as visually stunning as you would expect it to be. There are some episodes that take some risks that are really unique, artistically, musically, that are really unique, and definitely take some risks, and are more interesting as a result of that. And so we'll go through them a little bit, kind of explain just a little bit about each one, some initial thoughts on each one, and then probably the rest of this week and into next week, I'll be posting reviews of single episodes, reviews and reactions of single episodes. So that way each episode that I want to review and react to gets a little bit more of its due. But there are 9 episodes. The runtime for Season 3 of Visions is almost like 3 hours, I think, if I did the math right, because it's like 9 episodes at like 20 minutes each, right? So 20, 40, 60, 20, 40, yeah, I mean, it's about 3 hours, a little under 3 hours. So it's a lot longer than I was bargaining for, to be honest. But it's good. It's good. It's pretty varied. So we get 9 episodes, and by and large, far and away, by and large, the first episode, Season 3, Episode 1, is probably the standout as far as I'm concerned. Probably my favorite of this batch. It's probably the standout as far as, like, I think what people are going to gravitate towards the most and enjoy the most. So it's Season 3, Episode 1 is The Duel, Payback. So it's a continuation of the Ronan's story from Volume 1, the episode The Duel. It's a continuation of that story. It retains the same use of color and the same visual style. It's really just continuing that story in different settings, and it's taking larger action set pieces, which is really interesting. It's a lot of fun. I liked it, and again, not to get too much into spoiler territory, but he is going up against an opponent he wouldn't normally go up with based on what we've seen before. And a lot of these things are a lot of the things we would expect are kind of turned on their head as far as the characters and how they behave and how they act. So very interesting. Probably the standout episode. Probably my favorite. That's definitely one I'm going to review and react to individually later on with a longer video for that one in particular. Season 3, Episode 2 was really surprising to me. That was the Song of Four Wings. And that was the one, if you remember my reaction video to the trailer about a month ago, that was the one I was most skeptical of, because it had like that droid that turns into like a mech suit. And I was like, wow, that's not Star Wars, right? That's not something I'm interested in seeing in Star Wars. But, hey, guess what? I was wrong. It was pretty good. The story itself was interesting. Kind of repurposed ideas, repurposed characters. But it was an interesting story, and the action set pieces were really interesting. Visuals were good. Definitely worth checking out that. So we'll talk more about that one later too. Episode 3, The Ninth Jedi. I am a big fan of The Ninth Jedi. The Ninth Jedi continuation here was excellent. Absolutely excellent. My daughter watched Vision's after school today. She was able to watch it before I was, actually, and I caught her watching this episode, and she loves it. She's a huge fan of Kara. She's a huge fan of the Ninth Jedi in general, how that story goes. So which means I'm a fan, right? But it was good. I like the story. I'm a big fan of how the Jedi behave in the Ninth Jedi, and how they aspire to behave in the Ninth Jedi. I'm a big fan of that. So that's another story we're going to talk more about as time goes on. Episode 4, centered around bounty hunters. It's a new episode, new characters. Again, pretty great. Story is kind of basic, but it's interesting. The voice actors are good. The visuals are good. The premise is interesting. The characters are interesting. So definitely worth checking that out as well. Episode 5, Yuko's Treasure. Probably my least favorite of the bunch. Probably my least favorite. Doesn't mean it's bad, right? Other people are going to love it. Other people are going to love it. We're going to see this bear all over the place. We're going to see these characters all over the place. So other people are going to absolutely love this episode, episode 5. I'm not a huge fan. Maybe I need to watch it again. I probably need to watch it again. But on its face, my initial reaction is, okay, not for me. Maybe for somebody else, but not for me. So let's look at episode 6. Episode 6 is The Lost Ones, which is a continuation of The Village Bride from Volume 1. So we get to see the Jedi from The Village Bride continue her journey. And it's okay. It's what made that character so interesting is the mystery, I feel like. The mystery of them just kind of showing up and doing good and then leaving again in Volume 1. And so here we're getting a lot more story behind that character, which isn't bad, but it's not bad. It's not what I expected, but that's okay, right? So definitely interesting. I loved the locations, like the set pieces and the locations in this episode. And again, we'll talk more about that one as well, because I want to make sure we do the continuation there. Season 3, Episode 7. It's called The Smuggler. It's another original, right, for this volume. It's a new story. It is pretty cool. Pretty interesting story. A character has to smuggle some individuals out of a planet that is occupied by the Empire. Stop me if you've heard it before, right? So it's a similar premise that we've heard before in things like, A New Hope, but it is done really well. It's executed really well, and it's different, right? It has a similar premise, but the payoff is different, and the action itself is different, and it shows some really cool ideas. So no spoilers, but we're going to talk more about that one as well. Definitely good, definitely worth checking out. Episode 8, Bird of Paradise. Bird of Paradise, the only way I can describe the visuals is like visually stunning. Just from the get. It is visually stunning. It is nothing like the other ones. It's some kind of computer animation that I'm not really familiar with. Everything else is, I think, pretty much hand-drawn, or at least is in the style of being hand-drawn. This is some kind of computer animation, but it is visually stunning. And the premise, following a single person go on a journey of self-discovery after a setback is good too. It's a powerful premise that a lot of people can relate to, even if they can't relate to the specific circumstances that the character is going through. The visuals, again, positively beautiful. So definitely worth checking out, 100%. So that's another one we're going to be talking more about. And the last one, episode 9, is called Black. Season 3, or Volume 3, Season 3, Episode 9, Black. It is described by Disney Plus with the word psychedelic. And that is probably the best word to describe this particular episode. It is spooky. It reminds me of a trip, right? Of like a when you see in movies, people are talking about like an acid trip, or in like The Big Lebowski, where he just kind of has this vision and this haze, and everything's kind of coming together, and it's all very symbolic and very visceral, and it's risky. Like this one, episode 9, is I think one of the shortest, but it's also probably one of the riskiest. Like visually, it's very, very unique, very, very unique visually, very, very very unique visually, very I'm trying to find the word. It's late, I'm tired, but it's really just incredible, because I really was left kind of picking my jaw up when I was done watching it, because it was just so unique and so stylistic, and so risky. Because the premise is it's like what's going on inside of a trooper's head, like this psychedelic battle inside of a trooper's head. So maybe there's elements of like a PTSD, or maybe there's elements of like memory, traumatic memory, and things like that. So it's really, really super interesting. And again, I use the phrase risky and really just incredible. I love that they did it. I love that they did it, because they didn't have to, right? They definitely didn't have to, and it's an interesting piece. I'm glad it's there. I am glad it's there, because there's a lot to it, and there's a lot of discussions that people who are smarter than me are going to have about it. I struggle with symbolic, that kind of visual symbolism and those kind of things. Like I struggle with that. I struggle with kind of unpacking it. You can probably hear that. But other people who are really more in tune with that kind of level of artistry and artistic idea are really going to have a good time unpacking that, and they're really going to really get to dive into that. And I think it's good. I think it's really great. So those are my initial thoughts about Volume 3 of Visions. It's late. I'm not going to go too much longer. Volume 3 of Visions, non-spoilers. It is worth checking out. It is 100% worth checking out. If you haven't watched it yet, go watch it. It is long. It's 3 hours. It's almost 3 hours altogether. So it's not really something I would recommend for everybody to sit and watch all at once. That's the cool thing about Visions. They're 15 to 20 minutes, 15 to 25 minutes, and you can kind of consume them at that rate. But definitely worth checking out. I am planning on the rest of this week filming and posting reactions / reviews to other episodes. I don't know if I'm going to do every single episode. I might. But I'm definitely going to do at least some of them, because some of them I really, really like and I want to talk more about. But those are my initial thoughts for Visions. Check it out. Go watch it. Come back here tomorrow, the next day, and see some reviews and reactions to some of these individual stories. Those videos will have spoilers, but I'll label them with spoiler alerts so you can avoid those if you want to. But yeah, thanks for coming by, guys. Thanks for listening. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you watching and listening. If you have any questions, if you want to let me know what you want to know about Visions, what you want to talk about Visions, what you want to say about Visions, let me know in the comments below. Hit me up on Threads or on Instagram at Jake Talks Star Wars. And and as usual, take care of each other out there, and may the Force be with you. Bye-bye.